You're listening to LOA Recon with Good Vibe Coach Jeanette Ma. Let's have some manifesting fun together. You know, you might have heard me say this before about how I'm not a great visualizer. In fact, that's why I'm such a fan of that manifesting exercise of giving 3 answers to 3 questions. Remember from the Psych K process, where you give 3 answers to the question, what does it look like when I have what I want? And then what does it sound like when I have what I want? And then what does it feel like? They mean in a kinesthetic sense. What will I touch? What will I be touching when I have what I want? If you go to the trouble to find 3 answers to those 3 questions, by the time I finish that, I'll just speak for myself. By the time I finish that, I have engaged a very rich visualization. And that normally when I'm visualizing, like I get sidetracked in that thing so easily. I start off great, but within like 25 seconds, it's just off the rails. Like I'm imagining something going wrong. So visualizing is not my forte. Okay. I prefer a lot of other methods over visualizing. Not that I don't use it regularly, but it's not my strength. So when I was talking the other day to a fellow creator who said, I'm really good at visualizing. Oh, she said it just like that. I'm really good at visualizing. And she elaborated. She was really good at visualizing. That was a legit thing to be saying. She is really good at it. And when I heard her describing it, I was like, oh, I'd love to be able to say that. I'd love to be able to say that. You know what I heard inside my head after I said I'd love to be able to say that? Then do say that. If that's what I want, say that. Why don't I change that for myself instead of continue to saddle myself with the story that I'm not a great visualizer? What's keeping me from saying it? Commitment to the truth? That's a terrible reason. And if I we get whatever we look for. So if I looked for reasons why that wasn't true, hello, my experience with that exercise is evidence enough that I'm good at visualizing, because that's a tricky exercise. If you try it, it can be tricky. Yeah, commitment to truth is a terrible reason to be unwilling to say what we want. Because we know that we're speaking and thinking and feeling our way into our next reality. So why wouldn't we speak what we want? Sometimes we got to be willing to say it before it's true. Sometimes. That can be a powerful way to manifest what you want. So the next time you find yourself thinking or saying, I'd love to be able to say that, say it. You could say it to yourself, or you could say it out loud to someone that maybe it doesn't matter to. But that's how we get there. We're willing to say it. We got to be willing to speak it or think it or feel it before it's so. It can't happen if we don't lead the way there. So like the next time someone's telling you how much weight they lost and you think, I'd sure like to tell that story. Tell that story. Or when they tell you they just closed on their dream house and you're thinking, I'd love to be able to say that. Oh my gosh, just say it. Just say it. You can speak your way into it. Or if someone's talking about how their kids are rocking it, or their boss loves and adores them, or how a friend of mine was just telling me how much money he made. He made so much money. He was talking about it, and I was a little bit like, well, that'd be cool. There isn't any reason I can't claim it too. Or sometimes I hear someone talk about how much they enjoy cooking, or how they're lucky in love, or good with technology, or quick thinkers, like good decision makers. I got a different story about myself. I'd love to tell that story. Then Jeanette, tell that story. Tell that story. That's how you can change it. That's the answer. You want it to be different. Start by telling it different. Am I shouting? I'm so sorry. I'm going to need to ask the editor to check the volume on this. Sometimes I hear girlfriends or people just talk about how they're blessed with amazing friendships. I really want that to be true in my life too. I can speak my way into that before it's true. Or when someone how many of you are jealous when someone talks about being a really good sleeper? I'm reclaiming that for myself. I am in process. Look, anything you want to claim for yourself, I'm saying claim it. I'm shaking my hands in the air. I'm glad you can't see me. Go ahead and say it. You can say it to yourself. You're not going to be struck by lightning for being a big fat liar. It's just one of many ways to create the reality we prefer. Be willing to speak it so before it is. That's how it becomes so. So, whatever you'd love to be able to say, give it a try. Say it out loud right now. Or to yourself if you have company in the room. Exercise your powers of creating the reality you prefer by speaking it into being. Wouldn't you love to be able to say you're fabulous at manifesting whatever you want? That might be a great place to start. Thanks for listening, everyone. Happy manifesting.